You said something very interesting to Formula 2, the official website. You said, and I'm not quoting you, but what I remember, you said that you got overconfident after good results in the first couple of rounds last year, right? Can you elaborate a little more on this?
Fighting for pole for 4 races in a row in the start of the year, and then some races not being in the top 10, that's like a huge hit mentally because you're like, what happened? I'm fighting for poles. I should be fighting for poles every weekend, but that's just not how F2 works. Like we just spoke about, and that's one thing which my mindset's changed this year is just be consistent, and you're not gonna pole every race, and you don't have to. So yeah, I would say I did get a bit overconfident, which led to a bit of frustration when I wasn't fighting for pole. But again, there's a lot of which I can't really. I mean, it's pointless to say here, but there's a lot of stuff that um, goes into F2, and for whatever reason, I mean, sometimes we were second and a half off, which I haven't been in a while, so that's quite crazy, and I'll never know. But I'm just glad to still be in the phrase.
We'll get to the second and a half and a lot of things going in Formula 2. But what I loved about that confession is A, you could feel it, and B, you felt comfortable expressing it. I know you work very hard with Dr. Sri Advani, a very dear common friend of ours, on the mental side of things. But why do you think this overconfidence set in the first place?
I think it was just, um, I mean, naturally, every time I did a lap in qualifying, it was my name was flying up to the front, and that was 4 races in a row, and you just feel on top of the world, and you feel like
Obviously.
nothing can bring you down. And I think Hanumanji was like, nah, fuck this guy. Let's bring it back down to earth and teach him a lesson. So in a way, I got humbled really quick. But I took a lot of lessons from last year, which I can use to be a better racing driver in the future. So yeah.
Thank you. That's very honest of you, Kush. I know we've lived a lot of these highs and lows together on the WhatsApp chats that we share. But for you to be able to say it publicly to a larger motorsport audience, that's really cheering on for you. Hats off, or rather, helmets off to you, as we'd say in
No, in the,
motorsport.
in the end, in the end, for me, like every Indian fan is it just means so much to me. I've seen how it's grown, and I've seen how involved they've been, and it hurts when I'm not bringing them the results. It hurts. Honestly, it does hurt personally, and that's one of the biggest frustrations is not getting results home to my country. So, I mean, I want them to be, and I do feel like they're part of this journey as much as I am. So, um, that pressure does come on a race weekend, but I wouldn't have it any other way because it does push me to be the best.
That's fantastic. And how have you then, hence, through the winter, sort of worked? I know physically you're very fit. Warren, your physio, fantastic guy, always around. When you're not replying, I'm chatting with him. So I get a lot of information even from him. But how did you work over this mental aspect? Because there were two things. First was, this whole overconfidence that you very well explained. But the second, which is a lesser explained part of your journey last year, were the technical setbacks. I mean, you never went out to the media and said, "Hey, there's something up with my chassis." It was Jack Doohan who said that you had, a cracked chassis for 5 races. The team never put a statement out, so we technically don't know publicly what actually was happening. Then, at some point, there was an engine change as well. So, a lot of emotional strengthening that you would have had to do over the winter. What have you actually done, and how have you addressed it for 2025?
No, I think, like you said, there was a lot going on behind the scenes which I've never really said, and I won't because in the end of the day, I'm a professional, and this is racing. Anything stuff happens, and for me, the team did set up to win with both cars. In the end, every team wants to do that, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But it's not me to rub their name in the dirt, and they're great people, and I really enjoyed working with them. So, putting that aside, this winter was probably the hardest I've worked on the mental side and even physical. Like it's just been a great winter camp. We've looked at all my weaknesses from the year before and how in the same situations how I could have done better, which there's always those situations. And I really have given it everything before the start of this season, and I feel there's no stone left unturned. I feel like there was in the start of last year, but this year I really have given it my all. So I feel like a stronger driver, but more importantly, stronger in the mind and happier in general.
That's fantastic because in the winter you can't really work on your driving directly in the Formula 2 car given that you're not allowed to drive it. So I understand it's in the gym, it's with your mental training sessions that you can strengthen yourself. Look forward to seeing how all of that transforms into pace for you in Formula 2 in